From the campus of Rowan University in Glassboro, New Jersey, Comcast Sports presents high school football. Tonight, it's the 19th annual Adam Taliaferro All-Star Football Classic. Hello again, everyone. Rob Christ along with my partner, Sean Leary. Very warm evening here at Rowan University. Hot, humid, great talent on hand, showcasing their skills for a great cause, the Adam Taliaferro Foundation. Adam Taliaferro, of course, had a storied career at Eastern High School, went on to Penn State University where he was injured, miraculously came back and walked, and now his foundation has raised over $250,000 for young athletes.
Yeah, it's just an amazing job what they've done here, and this really isn't just a football game, it's an event. And Adam Taliaferro, what an amazing story, but it's everybody behind the scenes who have made this thing work, and it's really become the culmination of a great year. You know, all the graduations, all the great things that are going on with these kids and moving on in their lives, but this is a great way, an excellent way to really sum up the season, sum up careers for some of these young men.
For the white team, they boast the talent of Ricky Tunstall. He's on his way to the University of Delaware. According to head coach Pete Getz, he's really stood out this week.
I love Ricky Tunstall. I mean, this is a kid who can fly down the field. He's got great hands. You've seen a lot of good receivers come out of Glassboro High School, and Ricky Tunstall is no exception. One thing that's going to be interesting tonight about him is he might play a little bit of offense and defense, and that doesn't happen very often in this game. So we might see Ricky maybe catching some passes, possibly even picking a couple off.
There's so many storylines in this very football game, and one we're going to keep an eye on is Tunstall's teammate at the University of Delaware on the opposing team today.
Yeah, it's Andrew Pearson. This kid has just been an amazing player down at Cumberland. What I really love about him is, you know, it doesn't matter if it's on the high school level, the collegiate level, or also on the pro level, a guy like this who makes a program. And what really you've seen Pierce do is make Cumberland into what Cumberland has been over the last couple of seasons. A team that really struggled for years and years. Here comes a kid, he comes into the program as a junior and just really blows it up. Cumberland surprised everybody. It was because of him. He's just an outstanding running back, great field vision, really can shoot through the holes and score plenty of touchdowns for the Colts. The Blue Squad wants him to do the same thing for them tonight.
Both coaches have said that it has been an excellent week of practice here at Rowan University. They are juiced, ready to play. Always great football on hand. Stick around. It's their last time in a high school uniform. We'll have it for you in just a moment.
Handoff right up the gut. Big room for Okoro. He's well into the secondary. And he'll pick up about 13 yards. First down and 10, the white squad.
Well, it's all about making that first player miss, and that's what Okoro did an outstanding job with there. You first try to get that linebacker to miss that tackle or maybe a safety coming up, And Okoro does that extremely well, gets himself some extra yardage and picks up the first down.
Colucci out of Triton. The last time we saw him on Comcast facing Clearview when he was a sophomore. Colucci was a 3-year starter for Triton. A handoff, and again, a lot of room inside. And pounding his way forward is Joe Teagan out of Hatton Township.
Yeah, Teagan's a big kid. He's going to be able to block for it, but also get some tough extra yards. And what I like about Teagan, not only does he bring that toughness inside, Rob, but he's deceptively quick. He'll be able to get that burst right in the middle of the field, and he can break to the outside, and he's done that for Haddon Township.
Second down, and we'll call it 3 for the White Squad. One setback. Colucci will hand it off, and again, a lot of room up front. Brandon Wright out of Clayton will pick up the first down.
You got to feel good for Brandon Wright, Rob. I mean, there's a kid at Clayton, had a really nice career with the Clippers, but, Clayton doesn't get a whole lot of wins. And what Ryan Caltabiano has done there is put a couple of wins on the board to get people a little more excited at Clayton, but certainly they're going to miss Brandon Wright, who brought over the last couple of years one guy you can rely on and a leader on the team to get some of these young kids inspired to play football in the hallways, but also play it the right way.
First down and 10, Colucci. Rolls right, a lot of room. Throws underneath, Gravenese inside the 10-yard line, brought down at the 7, and the White Squad is rolling.
Great patience that time. Great patience by Colucci. Going to roll out. And I had a running back coming out of the backfield with him that he could have dumped that off to, but waited to see what Gravenese was going to be able to do. He gets himself open. Perfect spot where you can throw. Nice little pass out to Gravenese along the sidelines. And, of course, Gravenese is always going to go forward with that big body.
Colucci playing here at Rowan, where he will continue his college career. And I'm sure the Rowan coaching staff already likes what they see out of the 3-year starter from Triton. He'll keep right up the middle and bounces off a tackle once again inside the 5-yard line.
Colucci nowhere to go that time. Nice job by the Blue Squad. Just trying to get a couple of positive yards before he goes down, but a nice job by Tom Pangea of Hamilton, who comes in, fills that hole, and makes the tackle. He got, first off, the bounce, stayed with it, and was able to haul Colucci down from behind.
Second down and goal for the White Squad. Split wide left is Chris Roundtree out of Haddon Heights. Tunstall split right. In motion, it's Okoro. Okoro gets the handoff, still on his feet, and he will be dropped for a loss.
Well, they were trying to go behind big Tyler Smith of Triton, the center. Switched over a guard. They're going to try to get him, pull him to the outside, but the play just didn't develop. Nice job by Pangea and company to come from behind the line of scrimmage. Get that one for a loss. Now you expect Colucci to put it up in the air in this situation. Just underway here, 11:20.
This drive has stalled. It started just inside the 45-yard line of their own for the White. Third down and goal from the 9. Colucci fakes the handoff, rolls once again, dumps it in between, and a fine defensive play made. And it looked like that was Miles Little out of Burlington Township.
Nice play defensively. Great job by the secondary of the Blue Squad there. There was nowhere to go with the football. Colucci really trying to just fit one in, looking for Tunstall in the end zone. And the Blue Squad did a great job forgetting about that play fake. Didn't buy it. Get back into coverage. Nice job of getting back by the linebackers. Nowhere to go with the football. That's going to force a field goal attempt.
Steve Locke out of Woodstown. This will be a 26-yarder for Steve Locke. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So the white team locks up a 3-point lead here early. 11:01 remaining in this first quarter. This is a game, of course, that has a few changes to it, and most notably, of course, is the first thing that stands out is 15-minute quarters as opposed to the typical high school time frame, and that affords more and more players to see quality time. And again, coaches sometimes will sub by quarter, sometimes sub by series, etc.
Yeah, and that's right. These guys come out on Monday. A lot of them just graduated, or some of them still graduating this week. So they come here to the campus of Rowan. They stay on the campus. They try to get as much practice time in to get familiar with one another. But you want to get them into the game and play as many kids as possible, get as much playing time for each one, spread it around. But ultimately, these two teams want to win this game. You kind of see that more. It's more so in the second half where it kind of heats up. But these are, sometimes you'll have two teams who really get after one another, and the competitiveness comes out early. During the weeks of practice, these guys will see each other inside the dorms. And then sometimes it's just a good-natured, fun event where they're kind of joking with each other, palling around together. So you never know what you're going to get out of the blue and the white and what type of game you're going to get. We've seen games where we had some scoring. We've seen games where there's been no scoring. So it's kind of a fun event. You never know what's going to happen in the Adam Taliaferro Classic.
The kick is away, and it's going to be Pierce, who we talked about in the open, who takes it at the 25-yard line. Pierce is cut down by Brandon Calavita.
See Pierce there again, just a guy with tremendous field vision. Really is able to keep with his head up and keep looking and anticipates where his blockers are going to go with the block. And that's what he's done so well at Cumberland. As a member of the Colts, he was certainly the guy who was making that team go over the last couple of seasons, and now will go to Delaware.
First down and 10, and this is the first look of the blue offense. They'll be working out of the shotgun, a 3-receiver set, and quickly the handoff, and the blue squad able to pick up a couple. Andrew Pierce.
First handoff for the blue team goes to number 5, Andrew Pierce of Cumberland.
Looked like he was running right behind Tom Greco of Delran, the big offensive lineman, done a nice job there of getting that initial block, blowing his lineman off the ball, and they pick up about 7 yards or 6 yards.
Good push from that blue offensive line. Second down. We'll call it 3. 10-15 left. And the pass falls incomplete. Warren Oliver out of Palmyra. Tom White, the quarterback from Buna for the blue team. Of course, the head coach, Paul Callahan, out of Buna High School. The assistants, Mike Wallace from Delran, Mark Galili from Holy Cross, Jason Pear from Holy Cross, Tom Lake from Cumberland, Billy Miller from Holy Cross, and Mike Loiseau from Buna, the general manager, Frank Holmes from Holy Cross, and assistant GM Ryan Smith out of Egg Harbor Township. Third down and 3. The draw, and again, not much there. So after picking up a quick 7, the white defense stands tall and will force the blue to punt it away.
Right at the point of impact. Nice job at the interior defensive line for the white squad. No room to run at all.
3 yards to go for a first. Ball's at the 35-yard line.
So the blue will punt it away.
Number 11, Greg Christensen.
Good-looking crowd here tonight for this Adam Taliaferro game. The bleachers on the opposite side have been shut down, and a one-hopper to the punter, but handled smoothly as Christensen gets it away, and that is taken by Tunstall. Tunstall at the 31, gets a block now. Outside Tunstall, inside of blue territory, finally pushed out of bounds.
Number 88, Westboro's Whitney Tunstall.
What an excellent block. And then Tunstall taking advantage of that block and going up the sidelines. And again, you give him a little bit of room, he's going to make you pay.
When I spoke with Pete Gatz before the game, I said, who has really stood out? He talked at length about Ricky Tunstall and said, tremendous talent, really stood out amongst these all-stars. He said, but the one thing is he just keeps bugging me about his number. He didn't want number 88. He wanted a single digit. He said, we don't have too many single digits. And up until game time, he was still asking for a single digit unit. The pitch. It's Calavita. Calavita. Nice little Shimmy and shake and still on his feet. Calavita right down the sideline. Finally knocked out of bounds.
What I love about this kid, he's got that low center of gravity, real powerful legs, keeps him moving all the time, does an outstanding job there, just making him work. You know, the blue squad is going to have to make sure they wrap up on Calavita. He's one of those kids, Rob, you really want to start your program around. A smart kid, a kid who's going to play extremely tough football for you, and just does the little things right, never gives up on a play. Calavita is that type of special player that you take him and then you build your pieces around him.
Out of the I formation, first down and 10 for the White. Colucci will hand it off, and again, he gives it to the Delsey product, Kashmir Okoro.
And he was swallowed quickly by Jareed Gaines of Rancocas Valley, an outside linebacker. Didn't give up much there, going to Stonehill College. Now, one of the things, Robin, didn't really touch on this, especially not knowing each other. Some of the things that may work against these teams, especially early, is in the kicking game where you don't have a whole lot of time to practice that. And we almost saw a mishap by the blue squad. That's going to be something interesting to see early on in this game.
Colucci down the middle for Gravenese and just out of his outstretched arms. Got some air underneath it and tried to get Gravenese to run underneath it. Could not hook it up, and now a long third down.
I'm looking for Gravenese over the middle of the field. That's the play that Clearview loves to run. Getting the tight end right down the middle. It's almost like a streak for the tight end. Gravenese has done that before as a member of the Pioneers. But that ball was a little bit overthrown, and it looked like when Gravenese, Robbie, he kind of turned around and slowed up just a little bit instead of just going for the end zone, then turning his head. He might have turned a little too early on that, and that slowed him up just enough where that ball was overthrown.
Third down. We'll call it 9 for the White. Trips left. Colucci will roll to his left. Now pulls up, and he is brought down. Broke one tackle, but wasn't going to break two once again, all the way back to the 30-yard line, and that will probably take them out of field goal position.
Yeah, there was a couple guys there. Will Morgan, one of them from Northern Burlington. We also seen Jareed Gaines again. That is certainly going to put the White squad in position here where they're going to have a decision to make. Now, this is a spot where, you think, okay, we could get that punt, maybe angle it out of bounds. Maybe we try a long field goal, but it looks like they're going to go for it.
Not really a surprise because you touched upon the fact that the kicking game and special teams are going to be dicey. So why not just throw it up and see what happens? And Colucci out of the shotgun will throw it up. Looking to the corner. It's a jump ball, caught but out of bounds. Okoro, but well out of bounds, and the ball turned over on downs.
Well, Kazmir, at Delsey, you really don't get the ball thrown much to you, even if you're a wide receiver, let alone a running back. So getting his opportunity there to get into the end zone and go up and try to grab one, comes down with it, but just out of bounds. But, I agree with you. There's a spot and an opportunity where you get the fans excited. You go for the home run. The kicking game is already a problem, but just because solely you don't have time to practice it.
Across the middle, tipped up. Has tried to find a soft spot in the zone, looking for Elijah Phillips, the standout wide receiver on his way to Monmouth. Holy Cross, another successful football season for that program out of Burlington County.
Let's get back to Okoro, a kid, real smart kid going to Iowa Central Community College, going to be a registered nurse, is going to work at Cooper Hospital. Not that he might. He says, I will work at Cooper Hospital. That ball's on the ground.
Shovel pass. He'll pick up maybe one or two.
Or maybe it wasn't on the ground. Somebody was on the ground.
Third down. We'll call it 9 for the Blue. They've yet to get this offense untracked. Their second series. We're just under 7 minutes remaining in this first quarter. The White on top of the Blue 3-0 on the strength of a Steve Locke 26-yard field goal. 3rd down and 9. Out of the shotgun, White with time. Now flushed out of the pocket, White, and breaks a tackle. White still on his feet, and this time White will be brought down.
You know, one of the things that you see is obviously the kicking game becomes a problem, but Rob, also tackling. You know, you got your guys who can just flat out tackle and does an outstanding job, but you know, if you don't practice it, you really got to get back into the rhythm of it. And you've seen a lot of missed tackles by both these squads so far, and some quarterbacks being able to escape because of it. Ultimately, Blue now has to punt. It's a better looking snap.
Christensen will get it away, end over end. This will be short, and he will angle after Tunstall ran the last one back. That'll find its way out of bounds and a relatively short kick. 1st down and 10 for the White.
Seen a number of these names, and I'm sure a lot of people out there watching have heard a lot about these kids who have excelled over their careers. I mean, this is, you know, some of the best players in South Jersey playing in this game. But also, and I'm looking at all these kids and talking to some of them, also some of the finest kids too. I mean, not just, a lot of them say they just don't want to be classified as an athlete, but a student athlete. You know, Kadar Boyce comes to mind from Salem.
Inside handoff. Pickup of about 8. New quarterback is Glenn Hutton from Paul VI.
They're getting back to Boyce. Wants to be in a computer science major, going to the University of Missouri. Going to try to walk on there. Of course, Salem has had some kids recently. Lamont Robinson, who played with Oklahoma. Corey Smith, who played with Cincinnati. A couple of big-time Salem kids now. And you look at Boyce, and he's really embodies what they want to have in this game, where he says he wants to be known as a student athlete and not just an athlete. And that's refreshing to see some of these kids feel the same way that he does.
2nd down for the White. Hutton out of the shotgun. He'll keep Hutton, and he's cut down after a gain of about 1 yard. 3rd down and 1.
Third and 1. You get the bigs in there now. Blue's going to counter with a couple of big bodies. Fine night. Don't expect any type of precipitation, right? No thunderstorms. Usually we're at least threatened by a thunderstorm at some point.
Certainly recently. 3rd down. Out of the eye. Hutton under center will hand it off. And plenty of room here. Now into the secondary. Angling towards the 20. The 10. Finally brought out of bounds is Brandon Wright.
Brandon Wright high stepping off the field. Wants to go into sports management with music as a minor, going to Wesley College to play a little football there.
Wesley has recruited heavily in this area. You have Wright, as you mentioned, and quite a few players over on that Blue squad. Kevin McDevitt and Miles Little, Andrew Lawhorn, just to name a few of the players on their way to Wesley in Delaware. That's inside the 10, 1st and goal for the White. 4:14 left in this first quarter. The White on top 3-0. They've had the best of play. Okoro jumping over fallen bodies, and I believe we have a penalty here. It's probably going to be a hold.
That's number 3, Casimir Okoro of Delsey into the end zone. There is a penalty marker on the play.
See what the call is. Of course, the White squad is pointing at the Blue.
And it does go against the Blue squad. The White will wave it off, and that's a touchdown for Okoro. And the White team now on top, 9-0.
Casimir Okoro had 203 yards rushing on 9 carries and 2 touchdowns against Cumberland. has put together some terrific games as a member of the Delsea Crusaders, and early on in this game has been one of the premier weapons for the White Squad.
Penalties against the Blue for a shot block, and that is a touchdown.
Locke will come on to attempt the point after. 4:08 left in this first quarter, and the White on top 9-0, showing early dominance.
The extra point is Woodstown Steve Locke. Out of the hold of Rondo
Set up by that Brandon Wright run, and the White Squad has moved the ball more effectively than the Blue.
Kick is up, and it is good. It's now 10-0.
4:08 to play in the first.
You're just getting back to Brandon Wright, Rob, and he's, again, another kid that you can see in this football game and you could be proud of, not just a member of your community, but a member of Gloucester County and South Jersey. Brandon Wright's father passed away when he was 9, when Brandon was 9 years old, and that's certainly difficult for any child to have to go through. But he stayed on the right path at Clayton. He's a kid who plays the drums. He's involved with different activities. Loves playing football. Certainly a leader for the Clippers over the last 3 seasons. And I asked him, what was your best memory in high school? And dancing with his twin sister was what he brought up during in Mr. Clayton, for the Mr. Clayton contest. And just the love for his family and stuff like that. And that's what it's all about, having a kid who just gets it and deals with adversity, having his father passing away, and still comes out to certainly represent Clayton High School in such a positive way.
Number 8, Seiko Worldwide, Dean and Sharon Ragone, Coastline Restaurant, the Philadelphia Inquirer, the Courier Post, and South Jersey newspapers.
Just want to mention there's some sponsors we want to mention who put this game on. TNT Equipment Sales and Rentals Incorporated, Avalon Art Guild Exhibits, Coastal Spine, Cooper Bone and Joint Institute, Cargo Solutions. We'll mention some more.
Of course, the ball spotted at the 45 as a result of the chop block, and that ball sent out into the end zone. Back at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Blue Squad.
Going to mention a couple of these real quick as well, Rob. Gloucester Catholic, the 1971 Rams, the Philadelphia Eagles, Joel and Faith Vittori, Fort Nassau Graphics, Edward Jones, Rita's Water Ice, NJ National Guard, IATSE Local 8, Seco Worldwide, Dean and Sharon Ragone, Coastline Restaurant, the Philadelphia Inquirer, the Courier Post, South Jersey Newspapers, of course, Tom and Mary Icavone, the Athletic Trainer Society of New Jersey, Kennedy Health System, Tom White Roofing and Siding, Sports Paradise, Coldwell Banker Elite Realtors, and AAA of South Jersey. I don't think I didn't mention. How about the one business who didn't?
Well, that's again.
Involved with this.
I tell you, that's indicative of the support that this Taliaferro Foundation has earned over the years. It's a great cause, a great event, and more people are becoming involved. And why not? Adam Taliaferro is a truly remarkable story. Of course, attended Eastern High School, went on to Penn State. While he was at Eastern, he was regarded as arguably the top running back in the region. Despite that, went on to Penn State, where he was told he would play defense. Played defense, suffered a spinal injury in a game at Ohio State. Ironically, they said it was because it was at Ohio State that Adam is still walking today. They have fine medical facilities there, and the miracle continues is when you see Adam Taliaferro now, his gait is extraordinary. You would never know what Adam had to persevere through in order to be where he is today. Of course, now a successful lawyer and has his name on this great event.
Yeah, what I like about Adam, he's pulled in so many different directions, but he always offers up his time when he can to be able to talk to somebody, to be able to get to the media and do something with us. I mean, he is just a remarkable kid. Man, now it seems like he's a kid, but we're just getting older every year, and he's really turned into a man. It's been great to see him mature and this foundation mature into such what it is today, which is absolutely terrific.
White has his man underneath and finds Warren Oliver, but that will be well short of the first down.
Well, we said we were going to see Ricky Tunstall maybe play a little offense, a little defense. That time we see him make the tackle. We've seen a lot of missed tackles in this game. Tunstall comes up and makes the play. Of course, you allow that receiver there to not get behind you. You don't want to have him get behind you and pick up the first down. Keep him in front of the sticks. Tunstall does that. 3 and out, and now the White squad will get the ball back in, which should be pretty good field position.
4th down, and again, Christensen into punt. Looking at Tunstall. High spiral, and this will bounce at the 48 and come into blue territory. It'll be down at the blue 48-yard line, 1st and 10 for the White with 1:53 left. We'll step away and be back in just a moment. Minute 53 remaining in this first quarter. It's the White team on top, 10-0. 1st and 10 inside of blue territory. And again, this White offensive line has done a fine job pushing back the blue and creating a lot of running room for the various White running backs. That time it was Jasir Bronson.
Yeah, right now you got big Steve D'Alessandro of Bishop Eustace out there, and you have guys like him and Jerry Pacitti of West Steppert. Pacitti 6'2", 275. D'Alessandro goes about 280.
2nd down for the White squad. Hutton, your quarterback, with 1 running back. Quick drop. Hutton finds his man and throws it a little bit short, and it hits the ground. Looking for T.J. Pratt out of Kingsway. Pratt will play his college football right here at Rowan.
And not a lot of people, I think, really know how good T.J. Pratt was. And he was a kid at Kingsway, a leader on that team. You have some kids coming up this year who will be seniors in Rondell Gilmore and company. But Tony Barchuk had a real burner in T.J. Pratt, not only on the football field, but certainly on the track. T.J. Pratt excelled. That time, ball comes up a little short on him.
3rd down, we'll call it 7. Out of the shotgun, Hutton. Quick drop across the middle and contact. And they rule it that the ball was uncatchable as Tunstall went up for it, but it sailed on Hutton, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if that ball was catchable or not, but looked like there was a little bit of contact before the ball came to Tunstall. Now, White squad will punt it away. So far, no problems in the punt game for the White squad. We had the one missed snap for the blue squad, but it was handled by Christensen.
Lock, a high punt. Fair catch called, and that is taken right at the 20-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the blue. Under a minute remaining in this first quarter. It's been the White squad entirely. The Blues still looking for their first down.
Yeah, they've really struggled offensively as the blue squad, and you just want to get something positive. Move the chains, find a way to pick up some yardage on 1st down, maybe try a screen or something to get one of your playmakers with the football in the hands.
Handoff, and now outside the tackles, well into the secondary. Finally brought down for the blue, Andrew Pierce, with more than enough for their first down.
Well, that's the playmaker. You want the ball in his hand. I mean, Pierce is, again, really elusive, able to set up his blocks extremely well, and then can break to the outside. And, Pierce and Tunstall, that's 2 very good players that Coach Keeler, K.C. Keeler, who coached right here at Rowan for a number of years, be happy to get his hands on those 2 players next season.
Keep by White.
Fake.
White into the secondary, and enough for the first down. So now the blue team starting to hit all cylinders.
Well, that was an excellent play fake by White, and I don't think that's practiced enough by high school quarterbacks. I mean, think back to a few years ago, the best one I've ever seen in high school with a play fake was Sheldon Johnson from Deptford, Rob. You probably remember him and some of his play fakes. There was a couple times where they actually blew the whistle thinking the play was dead, and Sheldon Johnson was streaking down the field for a touchdown to the dismay of Coach Aoria.
And that'll be the last play of this first quarter. Not much there. Bruce picks up maybe half a yard, and that'll end things for this first quarter. We'll step away. It is the white on top of the blue, 10-0. The Adam Taliaferro All-Star Football Classic. Welcome back to the Adam Taliaferro All-Star Football Classic, 19th annual, held at Rowan University. It was at Eastern for a couple years while Rowan was undergoing some renovations. They continue to improve their facility here, but we're back at Glassboro, and we have ourselves quite a football game once again, 10-0, but the Blue Squad trailing by 10 is driving. 1st and 10, strike that 2nd and 9, I should say, out of the shotgun. The Blue underneath, and Tim Little, your quarterback, looking for his wide receiver, but that falls incomplete. Little spelling White, who had the reins in that first quarter for the Blue.
Mentioned a real nice crowd on hand tonight. Don't have the stands on the opposite side, so had to fill in a little bit with some guys standing up around the track, some guys and girls. Nonetheless, a beautiful night, big crowd. Out to see football in the spring. Actually, is it summer? It's summer yet, right?
Inside and hooking up, finding his man. That is Warren Oliver. Tim Little showing some arm strength. Little has done a nice job. He's on his way to Sacred Heart University. First and 10, and you sense the momentum has turned a little bit here for the Blue. Two receivers split left for Little, and he'll hand it off, and again, hitting that hole quickly is Robert Bruce.
Not a big game, but that's you pick up like 3-4 yards, and that puts you in such a much better position on 2nd down where you could do a couple of things here. And that's what the Blue Squad sorely lacked in that first quarter, was the production on 1st down to really set up the next couple of downs. That time, some good positive yards. Now you have the opportunity to put White kind of back on its heels a little bit.
Second down, about 5. Out of the shotgun, Little. And Little, once again, will hand it off. Not a whole lot there for Pierce.
Yeah, they tried to get Pierce. Looked like that was Harry Amwake of Gloucester Catholic. Played nose guard for the Rams, going to Wesley. His first team All-South Jersey Touchdown Club Lineman of the Year.
Amwake is another one that head coach Pete Getz really raved about. Said he was very, very difficult to deal with in the middle and showed extraordinary strength. And that has been on display already here in this first half. 3rd down and short for Little and the Blue. Out of the shotgun, Little with time, throws it, and falls incomplete, looking for Oliver.
That was Darren Moore from Pennsgrove, 6 foot, 170, playing out of Salem County under Coach Kemp Carr. Pennsgrove with Aaron Hayward, who played in the North-South game. Aaron Hayward going to Rutgers University.
4th down now for the Blue. Little with Pierce in the backfield. Has time across the middle, throws it up, in and out of the hands of his receiver. Really threaded the needle there, but unable to come down with it was Elijah Phillips.
That's right. I mean, Phillips had the opportunity. That ball was perfectly thrown just above the linebackers, just short of the secondary, and gave the receiver a chance to come down with it. But Phillips not able to make the play. You got to give credit to the defense as well. But a nicely thrown football that time by Little.
Little, very impressive in that first series for the Blue. The drive stalls inside the 20, and it's now 1st and 10 for the White.
So just as things starting to look pretty good for the Blue squad, everything kind of stalled and failed, but they have to feel good about the positive yardage and some of the things they did on that possession.
And the White team, there you see Colucci making plays, avoiding tackles, and all the way to the 46-yard line.
Well, I mentioned about the play fake. That was an outside tackle again. And Colucci, starting in their own territory now, brings White across the 50.
And the pitch. Okoro picks up a sizable chunk, and that will move the chains. Ball spotted at the 37-yard line, 1st and 10 for the White.
Colucci mentioned that the toughest kid he's ever played against was Chris LaPierre of Shawnee. But talk about toughness in the first round of the playoffs against Brick Township, Triton down by 2 touchdowns. He comes out and scores 3 touchdowns in that second half, an outstanding performance. And you always say, the cream rises to the top. Well, Colucci in the playoffs, down 2 touchdowns, did that against Brick.
Inside screen for Tunstall, and he gets a team picture.
It looks a little blurry to him. You look at all the Blue squad coming up and making the hit. Nothing to do there. But, I like the fact that you're trying to get the ball in your playmakers' hands and see what can happen.
They move it back to the 39-yard line, where it will be 2nd and 12.
You know this better than I. It's Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties, correct, for the White squad? For the Blue squad, you have Burlington, Atlantic, Ocean, and Cumberland.
2nd down. The handoff inside. And still on his feet, breaking tackles into the secondary. Enough for the 1st down. Jasir Bronson.
Going to Fork Union, Bronson with a good explosion in that middle of the field. And again, you have so many weapons for this White squad, but it's the offensive line that's really getting the push up front, Rob. I mean, they were starting to blow blue off the ball, and that's you have to find some way where you can stop being pushed, and that might you might start stunting some guys to come up and fill the holes and try to have some run blitzes.
Again, the handoff, and the ball is loose. Picked up by the Blues, Kevin McDevitt out of Cinnaminson. Looked like Kevin McDevitt, number 4 for Cinnaminson, who comes away with it.
There's a late flag. I think that's going to be after the change of possession. Well, that's how you stop the bleeding, so to speak, is have the ball pop out of the hands of the White squad.
And a personal foul will go against the White squad, so that will give the Blues some more breathing room. That's a 15-yard penalty, and they'll have the ball right around the 40.
Dead ball, personal foul on White, 1st down.
Hugh Gibson on the call, your referee. 1st down and 10, ball at the 40-yard line for Little. Working out of the shotgun. 2 receivers split right for the Egg Harbor Township graduate. Inside screen. Cutting against the grain, it's Levander Jones. Jones into the white territory. Jones and Little very familiar with one another as both of them competed down by the shore, Buna and Atlantic City.
What I love about that play with Jones is, I mean, that is a smart play. These kids are seniors, so they know how to play this game now. And Jones didn't try to get the extra yards to go for the home run. He cut back in the middle of the field to pick up the extra yards, got the first down, instead of what your natural instincts are to get to the outside. Nice job by Jones.
Again into the secondary, and another huge pickup for Andrew Pierce. Piercing the defensive line and finding his way into the secondary and racking up the stats here early.
Well, that's Andrew Pierce. He is a guy that can get you some points in a hurry, and you want to try to be able to get him the ball. Now Blue's starting to gain a little momentum, and the offensive line is doing a much better job here in this second quarter.
1st and 10, again, Little working out of the shotgun. And he'll hand it off. They've been successful on the ground, and once again, another big pickup here as cut down on the play is Robert Bruce.
It's funny how things can turn around for a team, and it might be just a small thing, either a good tackle or a turnover. And it just seems like now even the play calling for the Blue squad is starting to feel better for this team.
2nd down and 4 for the Blue. 2 receivers set for Little out of the shotgun. And again, right up the gut. Pierce, there was a late flag on the play.
Well, Harry Amwick, I mean, he is just a huge force on the interior of that defensive line for the white squad coming out of Gloucester Catholic. And another kid, another personal foul for the white squad, so that's going to give them a 1st down.
30 yards already on this drive via personal fouls, and the white squad losing their cool on this humid evening at Rowan University. 19th annual Adam Taliaferro All-Star Football Classic.
Dead ball, personal foul on the defense, 1st down.
So they'll just move it half the distance to the goal, spotted at the 12.5. Three receivers set for Little. That's Pierce in the backfield. He dumps it underneath, finds his man, and that's Jones. Jones on his feet and very close to the end zone.
That's just desire there by Jones. It looks like he should have been stopped for maybe even a loss, but certainly a short game. White not doing a very good job tackling on that play, but Jones' effort puts them to the 2-yard line now. And again, you could do more things when you get closer to that goal line. Now White has to squeeze in a little bit. So you could see maybe you could play fake here. You could still try and go with a big back. They do have Pearson alongside with Robert Bruce.
Inside of 7:30 remaining in this first half. Little. And caught from behind is Pierce.
Trying to give the ball to Pierce and have him slip through, and it looks like we're going to get a timeout. Official timeout. Not quite sure why. Might be. Looks like that's Jake Benson from Hamilton coming off of the field. Might be a little banged up.
Second down and goal for the Blue. 6:55 remaining. Blue trying to get on the scoreboard. And again, the handoff to Pierce, untouched for the touchdown. The Blue squad with a drive aided by the undisciplined play of the White. On the scoreboard, it is now 10-6.
That's just Pierce athleticism, and it's a good call. I mean, get your playmaker involved, allow Pierce with the opportunity to scoot into the end zone some way, whether it be by jumping. I think he might have lost his shoe.
The low kick is no good. It is 10-6 with 6:46 remaining in this first half. The White team with a 4-point edge.
What he did was, I think he actually kicked. See, I think. So Blue gets on the board. I mean, that is the type of drive that you're looking for, aided, like you said, by the undisciplined play by the White squad, something that they want to remedy now. And before you get into the half, is you don't want to now start to lose your cool and lose the lead as well.
Little piece of grass located at 114 West High Street, and the Mount Laurel location is at the corner of Church Road and Route
I just love this event, Rob, because you know it's kind of like the final event. Some of these kids will. This is it. You know, this is their last game of football, and it's just fun to see some of these guys leave it on the field. And I know they get so excited. It's a thrill. And as Chad Gravenese put it this week, it's an honor to represent their school one last time. I mean, he said it, you know, for all the Clearview graduates that has played in this game or played football or played under Coach Dan Pidcock and the Pioneers there, it's an honor to represent them. And, again, we talked about these kids being terrific athletes, but also terrific kids. This is one of the best crops, certainly a class of 2009, that I know these coaches are very proud of.
Kick is away. It's taken at the 10-yard line, and it looks to be another fine return by Okoro. And a personal foul this time. And I think it's going to go against the Blue.
So as I said, you know, this game will start off where kind of friendly with each other, you know, good play, you know, nice tackle. Then it'll get a little chippy.
Well, again, another penalty here by the White squad.
Just get the call momentarily. That will back up the White squad. I mean, they're having problems.
Dead ball, personal foul on the receiving team, first down.
You know, and at this point, you just got to say, listen, guys, just keep your cool out there. Stop putting us in the position where we're backing up. And, you know, not only do we relinquish field position, we could be relinquishing our lead if we continue to make the silly penalties. You don't want to also take away the aggressiveness, though. So it's a balance of how you want to do that as a coach.
And a big carry once again by the White squad. Showing some of that speed is Brandon Wright.
I can't imagine that there's any other kid that is amped up to play in this game than Brandon Wright. I mean, he's seen his share of losses in tough football games at Clayton. To come out here and be able to showcase his skills and to be able to play with athletes that are similar to his is certainly exciting for him. And for some of these teams, man, some teams that, you know, struggle year to year and fail to produce wins, but they don't produce They don't have a lack of character on the team. They don't have a lack of athletic talent. It's just not as spread out as you would see at some of the bigger schools.
Not much there for Joe Teagan from Haddon Township. We'll call it no gain, 2nd and 10. Clock continues to wind down. 5:35 remaining in this first half. It is the blue trailing the white 10-6. Two receivers split left for the white. That is Bronson and Roundtree. Colucci, your quarterback. And the Triton grad has it knocked down. Big play by Jareed Gaines.
Gaines coming through untouched. Getting those big mitts in the face of the quarterback, knocking the ball down. It's going to bring up 3rd down. This is a team. You look at RV, and after a couple of years of going 1-9, and Gaines painfully went through those years. As a senior, RV comes back, and his team goes 7-3. So tasting a little bit of success this season, but it's guys like Gaines that you want to build your program around, gain a little character, a little leadership, and turn those 1-9 seasons into what RV had this year, 7 wins.
3rd down and some movement by the white.
Looks like comes John Savage.
Let's take a minute to step away. 3rd down here. 2nd quarter. 5:11 remaining. It's the white on top. 10-6 in the Adam Taliaferro Football Classic. Welcome back. Colucci rolls out, throws it up against the grain, and has his man at the 47-yard line. Chad Gravenese and Rocco Colucci are becoming fast friends tonight.
Gravenese does an excellent job being able to come back and look for the football, adjusting. The defense did not know where the ball was, and Colucci just throws it up. You know, in hindsight, you say, oh, great pass. You know, it worked out for you. It probably wasn't the smart play for Colucci to load up, but he gave Gravenese, who's a big kid, a big target at 6'3", the opportunity that if he doesn't catch it, at least he knocks the ball down. Gravenese doing a good job of looking back for the football. The defensive secondary got a little twisted.
The white squad looked to be in a lot of trouble. They now have a 1st down draw play. Calavito. We haven't seen much of Calavito, but every time we have, he has been electrifying.
Nice job by Joe Teagan and Edmund Thompson of Overbrook. A couple of good blocks downfield, and they sold that extremely well. Blue coming basically untouched. You just slip the ball in your ball carrier's hands with Calavita. Brandon does the rest. Now the white squad with the opportunity. Maybe add to the lead here with just 4:20 left.
1st down again for the white. Ball spotted at the 42-yard line. 2 receivers spet out of the eye. Colucci under center pitches. And a small seam there. And it looked to be Brandon Wright.
You know what the Blues defense has to do is they have to put a couple of plays back-to-back. You know how the ball batted down, but then they'll give up the big play. They'll stuff you on 1st down, but they'll give up a big 2nd down run. They haven't had the consistency of making plays on consecutive downs, especially early on, to put the white squad in a 3rd and long.
Second down, we'll call it 8. Ball just outside the 40-yard line for Colucci and the white squad. Colucci rolls to his right, throws against the grain, and looking once again for Gravenese. That falls incomplete.
Well, what he did, he looked for Gravenese, and I know them guys are becoming buddies, but Joe Teagan was open. He was open underneath and could have easily picked up the first down. And I mentioned about Colucci's patience earlier in the game. That time, maybe trying to stuff the ball, although I know him and Gravenese has something going on right now with being able to, they picking up a couple of nice catches there. But Teagan was wide open. I think he forced the ball that time to CG.
Gravenese has a large contingent seated directly in front of us. They're Chad Gravenese official fan club T-shirts on display. 3rd down and 8. And the handoff, Colavito on the draw. And not a whole lot there, as absolutely smoked was Colucci.
Again, now there you go.
Timeout blue. Timeout blue.
The blue team calls a timeout with 3:04.
You get a couple of plays in a row now. You give yourself the opportunity with Pierce and company to maybe take the lead in this one. And this is what this event has become. It's not so much about showcasing just football, but it's also about raising money for these individuals.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've resolved the problem of the Little Beef tickets. If you go to Little Beef
And what the foundation does isn't something about just putting on this football game. Throughout the year, they're getting student athlete scholarships. They're involved with that. Certainly heavily involved with trying to raise money to help the cause of Adam Taliaferro and what they have done here with this foundation. And it just, Rob, it's really taken on a life of its own.
The punt is high and short. It will bounce and take a blue bounce down at about the 23-yard line. 2:54 remaining in this second quarter. Tight game, 10-6 white.
Now you have a chance here, Blue, but you also have to guard against making a poor decision with maybe trying to make something happen. You're down 10-6. You came here to make plays, but you don't want to make one for the opposing team. And I'm certainly, you know that the white squad knows that the blue may come out firing here. Again, just good decisions with the football.
1st and 10. Outlet finding his man, and enough for the first down as Jones. Quick little wide out from Atlantic City, the Vikings of Atlantic City. Jones on his way to JMU, James Madison University.
Yeah, I think I mentioned earlier about run blitz, and you cannot blitz in this game. There's a couple rules that apply to this game that wouldn't to normal high school football. As you mentioned, the 15-minute clock for each quarter, but not allowed to blitz either. They want to protect the quarterbacks, and, of course, they want everyone coming out of this game unscathed with injuries. There was a couple during the week.
1st and 10, and the handoff inside for about 4 or 5.
Dom Pasquale of Gateway coming in, making the tackle there for the white squad, and that's a kid that has not only made a name for himself in football, but also an outstanding baseball player, played inside linebacker, second team All-South jersey, all-time leader on hits for Gateway as well. His dad was an all-state baseball and football player in Florida, so the apple did not fall far from the tree in the Pasquale household.
2nd down. A lot of time, and Little will take advantage of it. Throws it up and finds his man. Nice throw and a nice catch. 1st down, blue.
Yeah, excellent job by Elijah Phillips. Elijah Phillips is going up, getting the football, and that's just a route that's perfectly run by Phillips, and he gets the job done of being able to stay inbounds. Phillips coming out of Holy Cross, going on to Monmouth, wants to get into communications and sports broadcasting.
42-yard line, 1st and 10. And the clock moving, a minute 41 remaining. Little. Deep, has his man wide open inside the 10-yard line. Somebody blew a coverage, and Elijah Phillips took advantage of it.
Well, he mentioned that one of the things he needs to work on is his speed, not just in short bursts, but his long speed, as he referred to it as, is being able to run away from somebody and not get caught from behind. That time, there was nobody around him. I mean, he didn't have to worry about his long speed, any speed. There was nobody around him. Somebody certainly blew an assignment there, but this is a kid, you want to make sure you keep your eyes on him. Football, basketball, and track, an outstanding athlete for Holy Cross.
1st and 10. Pierce dancing and brought down at the 5. So now the blue team will take their time to try to eat up some clock. 65 seconds remaining in this second quarter. 2nd down and goal.
Yeah, this is where you can use a little bit of patience, set up by the couple of terrific passes to Phillips by Tim Little.
Out of the shotgun, Little. He'll keep, and Little in trouble. Gains maybe a yard.
Now
and the blue team calls timeout. A little surprised they called it so quickly. Of course, that missed extra point could loom large. 4-point deficit for the blue. They'd like nothing better than to punch it in here and go ahead. But a field goal would only bring them to within 1.
Just coming off, Rob, I would assume one of your favorite seasons, baseball, being a coach at Eastern, and had the Carpenter Cup. That's I guess, somewhat of an equivalent to what this game is, another all-star game, but the Carpenter Cup takes teams from not only in New Jersey but also in Pennsylvania as well. And, there's always kind of bragging rights. A team from Pennsylvania going to win, team from New Jersey going to win, and New Jersey got the W, correct?
Don't forget that Delaware is also involved in the mix. This year it was Burlington County victorious, and a couple players here tonight playing football who played on that very championship team. We'll get to that in a moment. 3rd down, out of the shotgun, it's Little. Pierce to his left. Little, quick drop, throws, and that falls incomplete as he was trying to find Warren Oliver. We mentioned Burlington County victorious. Warren Oliver, the intended receiver from Burlington County, however, was not on that Carpenter Cup team. Tyler Powell, fine player from Cherokee, who's a tight end tonight. And also Mark Mount from Riverside, a wide receiver going on to Centenary, who played a role in that Burlington County championship in the Carpenter Cup. And a lot of these guys are more than just one-star athletes. A lot of them play 2 and 3 sports during the course of the year. 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Little out of the shotgun, rolls. Little drops it, and it's picked off. Picked off, and Roundtree returns it to about the 1-yard line. So a little surprise as they do not attempt the field goal there.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised they don't attempt the field goal. Not too sure exactly what the dynamics of what they have there on special teams, but it's just a terrific job in coverage by the white squad. You're trying to force it in, but you have to be able to try and get it to somebody. Found a receiver across the middle, but Roundtree closes, tips the ball to himself, and the Ursinus Haddon Heights grad picks it off. He's playing football at Ursinus, going for business and economics. Like to start his own business at some point. And this is another great athlete, Roundtree. Played basketball and track.
And a quarterback sneak just to get some room away from that goal line, as we are now underneath 20 seconds remaining in this first half, and that should be the last play of the half.
You know, one of the things Roundtree asked him, I said, is there anything you may like? He likes tennis. And he's a basketball and track and football guy, but he's a little secret about him. He likes tennis. He said, not many people know that about me.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
Well, we'll step away. We are through one half of play. It's been a good one, and it's the white squad who jumped out to a 10-0 lead, who now lead by 4. Welcome back to Rowan University, about to begin the second half. It is the white squad on top, 10-6. Rob Christ along with my partner Sean Leary. And we are underway. Ball taken at the 18-yard line and hit almost immediately is the blue squad.
Well, that was missed because he called for a fair catch and wouldn't be allowed to advance. That was Tom Pangia of Hamilton, and I think they missed that. He called for a fair catch, and they're going to give him the yardage. I wasn't seeing things. Did you see?
I frankly did not see that, but I certainly don't doubt you. When would I ever doubt you, Sean?
See, I told you, fair catch. I appreciate that.
You mentioned before, I'm not sure if this is the end or the beginning of football season. Back to pass, eluding a tackle, and Little still on his feet. He now rolls out of harm's way, finds his man, and the ball falls incomplete. But again, you see a little of the magic of Tim Little.
Yeah, you make a good point. Really, it is the beginning of the football season, but I feel like this game is the end of the scholastic season from the 2008-2009 years here at everywhere. I mean, this is kind of like the end of the scholastic year. All the seniors, last event. But you're right. This really is the beginning of football, and nothing gets more exciting than when the Eagles and everyone takes the field, and then you get ready for high school and college. Of course, we can wait because we like our summers.
Draw play, and again, maybe a gain of a yard.
There's nothing better than the excitement of football in a brand new season. Vince Simone came up, made that tackle out of Collingswood. He's going to go off the field now.
It's great to see many of the football coaches from South Jersey out tonight. Saw Mike Karp, the new head coach at Gateway High School. He's taken over for Mark Deal, who I ran into down at the concession stand. Mark Deal will go on to Delsey to help out Sal Marquez, that fine tradition they've created over at Delsey. Clyde Folsom on hand from West Deptford. Back to pass, thrown over the middle, and a nice catch and throw, but that falls incomplete. It looked like Phillips had it, but it just squirted out.
Jarred loose, I think, by Ricky Tunstall in coverage there, but it looks like Phillips had it. Couldn't hold on. That's going to bring up 4th down. Nice effort by Phillips to go up and get it, but unable to come down with it.
We mentioned Mike Karp, the head coach at Gateway, along with Mark Deal, the former coach. Coach Deal told me they're going to install AstroTurf or field turf over at Gateway. Gateway will be playing all of their games on the road this year. And it's only been about 10 or 12 years where they had that same problem, if I recall, where they redid the fields. But that's quite an indoctrination for Mike Karp in his first football season. Every game a road game.
You remember Woodbury a few years ago? They had a couple seasons like that. But yeah, it is kind of tough. You get it, especially for the seniors. You got to feel bad for the seniors when you don't get the opportunity to play in front of a home crowd. I'm sure that's going to be disappointing for them. But I would think every school right now, after the season, the rainy season that we had in the spring, everybody would be thinking about turf. There's some games. Obviously, that you can play on turf, field hockey, football, lacrosse, that absorbs the rain a little bit more. You don't have as many cancellations. We saw that, with some schools like Eastern and Washington Township can handle the rain a little more.
Well, the technology is extraordinary. Of course, we're fortunate over at Eastern High School. I would dare say that the facilities at Eastern are probably second to none in South Jersey, with a turf lacrosse / soccer field and the football field, and of course the baseball field as well. And the technology of the field turf is extraordinary because you could literally have a hurricane and play 5 minutes later. The drainage is just unbelievable. And as you mentioned, you get a lot more events in and just makes life a lot easier. And of course, Rowan University is one example of that. When we started doing this Adam Taliaferro Classic, they had grass. And of course, we mentioned that the game was moved to Eastern for a bit, and that was when they were installing the very turf that these players are playing on tonight.
It's a great surface, and one of the best things about it is, when you have so much wear and tear on some of these fields, what happens when it dries out after it's wet? You get little crevices, and that's where you can twist some ankles, break some ankles. This limits the amount of injuries that certainly teams have. I mean, there's no doubt that playing on regular grass gives you more of an opportunity to become injured for that reason.
Third down, about 8. Ball thrown up and out of the outstretched arms of Ricky Tunstall. It's very interesting because, of course, there's a lot of debate as to whether or not football, particularly, there are more injuries, or soccer, more injuries on turf versus grass, because the common notion is that grass provides a greater cushion. But again, you have the footing issue that you mentioned with a natural surface. And they have done studies. I know Casey Christie, our trainer, has really immersed himself in those very studies, and there's really no appreciable difference between the two surfaces in the number of injuries.
And certainly the turf, beautiful punt, nice bounce. The White will down it inside, right about the 5, I guess. Well, I think you've seen a difference in the amount of injuries. We were used to seeing it, because we live in this area and used to see the vet and the problems that the vet turf had caused. But you don't see, I think, the amount of injuries that you used to see on turf before. I think the technology has advanced, and I guess, however, the absorbing the impact of somebody running. There were simply people running and cutting and tearing an ACL or MCL, not even being touched. And you don't see that quite as often. So I think the technology's caught up a little bit, and you're seeing less and less injuries, which is great, at least on the knees and the legs.
First down and 10, slings it out, and that'll fall incomplete, in and out of the hands of Robert Bruce.
I think, more so in high school when you talk about, the grass, because not only is the football team playing on it during that season, you might have band out there, practicing and doing their thing. And if it's a wet field, and that dries out, you're certainly going to have more chances to have a couple little spots where you can step wrong and twist or break an ankle.
2nd and 10 for the Blue, backed up deep in their own end, and they'll hand it off. And a ball is loose, picked up by the White, touchdown! It looks like it's number 21, Chris Roundtree. The White squad taking advantage of the Blue misstep, and they will look to add to their lead.
Roundtree's a kid, missed his sophomore season, came back as a junior. That was a little bit tough for him to overcome, not being able to play that sophomore season. Just had the presence of mind to pick that ball up, scamper into the end zone, and the beautiful punt results in the opportunity now for White to go on top by 8.
I believe the score is 16-6, so this would be an 11-point edge. And on to attempt the kick is Steve Locke from Woodstown. Kick is up, and the kick is good. And the White squad extends their lead to 17-6.
Can't always believe what you see,
I've always said
simple
that,
mistakes,
especially in this day and age. I'll leave it at that.
Especially in this day and age.
Got Photoshop,
Mm-hmm. True.
trick photography.
Tricksters.
So let's look forward here. It's June, almost July. That means in just 2 months or so, we will start again the scholastic football season. Anybody stand out? Sean, to be the team to beat?
Well, I mean, what's going to be interesting is, especially you look at Group 1, for instance, Glassboro. The consecutive streak of 2 seasons winning championships. They have not had a loss in over 2 years. This is a Bulldog program that under Coach Neilio has been unstoppable over the last couple of seasons. And let's see if there's somebody that's going to be able to knock them off in Group 1. Remember, Paulsboro was a team that really dominated for years in that Group 1. But you got Brian Purnell at quarterback at Woodbury. And we'll see how the loss of Kersey will affect the Thundering Herd. But you have to believe with Zach Greenwald coming back for Paulsboro that the Red Raiders will be a force. Glassboro is going to lose Ricky Tunstall here. But they're going to have a number of guys back to help preserve that streak.
Steve Locke to kick it away. Nice,
That's a good
long kick all the way inside the 5-yard line. And setting up the return, here is Phillips. Down to the 24-yard line, 1st and 10.
Group
Locke
4
has been impressive here.
Yes, he has.
As a kicker.
Yes, he has. A field goal, a couple of extra points, doing a nice job punting. Some of his punts, the hang time on him has been really fun to watch. You've heard a couple oohs and ahs.
3-7-2, 4-1, 3-1.
But with Group 4, you never know. You have Washington Township, Eastern in Group 4.
I think you can't forget
Cherokee, one of the best teams. So who knows? I mean, that's your American division right there. That seems to be the big 3. Well, absolutely, Williamstown may have another very good team. They have a good amount of juniors. And Williamstown has seemed to fit in nicely in Group 4. You never know who will also emerge in Group 4 or 3.
Well, Group 3, Shawnee, of course, coming off a great season, but they will lose Chris LaPierre, who is widely regarded as the top athlete in South Jersey this past year. Pass falls incomplete as Phillips can't hold on.
And I don't know the geography, the dynamics, and the numbers, whether West Deptford, you always wonder where they're going to bounce 2 or 3. But remember the game we did, West Deptford and Delsey, maybe one of the most exciting finishes and games that we have ever done here on Comcast this season in the playoffs, with Delsey coming down and doing it through the air in that last few seconds, and that was just an amazing game, playoff game. So, those two teams, certainly you have to put Delsey in the mix under Coach Marquez, and you got Coach Folsom, who you mentioned from West Deptford.
Little throws it up, and there's nobody home. You mentioned some of the great games we've had over the years, and of course, this past year, West Deptford and Delsey, a true classic. Probably the greatest game, in my estimation, that we did was that Paulsboro and Glassboro playoff game for the South Jersey Championship. And
that was a good
another great South Jersey Championship game, and I was back during Kingsway being in Group 2, was against Hamilton, when Hamilton had that vaunted defense, the controversial decision to go for it on 4th and 1 deep in their own end, and Kingsway stopped them and eventually won that game. 3 games that really stand out for me.
Those were good ones. We had West Deptford and Buno on Comcast also in the snow. That was an excellent game. We've done some great games for Comcast, and also here now with VIP Productions producing some content. for our local cable stations, and you were just attacked.
Yeah. Mosquito Central.
Thought I was going to say man down. you were flailing away. Thought I offended you by saying something. I wasn't sure what you were doing.
First down and 10. Out of the shotgun. And a quarterback keeper, and not a whole lot doing for the white team's Glenn Hutton. You know, going out in the crowd, Sean, you have an opportunity to see everybody has their respective high school T-shirts on, and you see the little sayings on the back of the T-shirts, and it's always interesting to read the little motivational things. And I was walking down, and you may be able to see him, a guy with a gray hat down there, and the back of his T-shirt, I don't know how motivational this is, but it said, "The beatings will continue until morale changes," which I thought was pretty funny.
Hopefully he's talking about football. Hate to be one of his kids.
Second down, right up the gut, and that'll be very close to a first down for the white squad. Bronson, you know, you don't see something like that very often as a means of motivation.
Wouldn't want to be one of his kids or his dog. I'm not too sure. We saw Pangea of Hamilton make another fine play. Look to get in his secondary education. Like to come back and teach and coach sports. Also a wrestler. Got a cousin who punted at Temple as well, so there's some good genes for Pangea. He's had a nice game. We've mentioned his name a couple times.
Third down and right, pushing forward. He'll be shy of the first down. He picked up maybe half a yard, so decision time for the white squad.
This is going to be a tough decision here. 4th and 2. You hold the 11-point lead. Locke's done a real fine job punting. But, you know, I like here that you go for it, Rob. And the reason is it's an all-star game. You want to keep your kids involved in the game and keep them focused. You know, this kind of keeps them in the game and say, listen, I believe in you guys to being able to pick up these couple yards, and I believe in my defense if we don't make it.
Fourth down. Handoff, Colavito stopped immediately, and he will be well shy of the first down. A big play made by that blue defense.
Kevin Kelso coming in. I guess they believe in their defense because Kevin Kelso comes in, just blows that play completely up.
Kelso on his way to FDU, Frank Fairleigh Dickinson.
Coming out of Palmyra, played defensive end there. Also played a little baseball, was a second team All-Freedom. He talks about, you know, he has to work on his technique, but his quickness, and I agree, is very, very impressive. Has 4 sisters and 3 brothers.
Handoff to the blue, and again, a nice size pickup for Bruce. You know, when you have that many brothers and sisters, there's going to be some competition going on.
Quickness is important.
That's just at the dinner table.
He says quickness is his forte, and you know you do have to be quick there. We mentioned Bruce a few times coming out of Delran, another wrestler, and also on track team as well.
Second down for Little in the blue. Out of the shotgun, and they'll hand it off. And stopped right there is Pierce. Maybe a yard. They're still hitting out there.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Bruce was one of the guys. He says, you know, that Phillips was the most aggressive and toughest hitter. He said he was the real first guy that really hit me hard, and then I felt it. And some of these guys playing with each other now on the same team, Phillips and Bruce. I'm sure he's glad to see that Phillips is wearing 85 in the same color jersey that he is.
3rd down and 3. Little will hand it off. Little stutter step will get the job done, and that'll be enough for the first down as Robert Bruce starting to get the bulk of the carries now. The Delran product showed a little bit of that quickness that served him so well with the Bears. Headed to Wesley College. We mentioned quite a few players on their way to Delaware to play football at Wesley and the University of Delaware.
Yeah, Blue really needs a nice drive here, being able to take a little bit of control of the line of scrimmage and score some points, put some type of points on the board.
And now strung out and breaking a tackle, cutting against the grain. It's going to be a face mask, and there's a big hit, big block, and that's going to be another penalty. So you got penalties galore going on here.
And I know that is one of those on Phillips. We talked about hitting hard. Phillips comes back and tries to spring Bruce for a little more yardage there. The problem is he might have got the back and hit the numbers.
You got a face mask and a push in the back, offsetting penalties here.
Yeah, and that would have been a first down for 1st and 10 for the Blue Squad before the lock in the back.
Personal foul against the Blue for illegal block. They are offsetting penalties.
So let's just pretend that didn't happen.
No,
First down and
still
10.
got 1st and 10. But you would add a 1st and 10, 15 yards up the field. I guess that's what the legal block in the back did against Phillips. But that's the type of play, Rob, I think as a coach, it's still being aggressive, coming back, trying to help your teammate out. And you're okay with the aggressive personal fouls. You're not okay with the stupid personal fouls.
And again, in the backfield, but breaking tackles, still a loss. Pierce showing that 2nd and 3rd effort just to get back a couple of the yards lost off of the delay.
That was Sean Lachlan who came in, number 11, and wasn't able to wrap up on the play, but he gets good penetration into the backfield. And if a lot of people remember him, he was a District 28 champion, place winner, in wrestling, and then a region place winner, won a match at States, went 36-4 as a senior.
2nd down, we'll call it 12. 3 receivers set for Little and the Blue. Quick drop across the middle, has his man. It's Phillips, breaks a tackle, cuts back inside all the way down to the 18-yard line.
Yeah, there's just some guys that are used to making big plays. We talked about Tunstall in the opener for the White Squad, and the equivalent from Tunstall on the White Squad is certainly Elijah Phillips on this Blue Squad. It was a matter of time where he was going to be able to break out and make a couple of plays. You can't stop him throughout the entire game. You just want to try to limit how many catches he's going to have and how many times he gets his hands on the football. But he is a special athlete, showcasing his skills in front of everybody here at Rowan University.
4:43 remaining. Little out of the shotgun. The handoff. Right up the gut. It's Pierce still on his feet.
What I love about Pierce is you're going to see him get through the line, and then he's going to cut. And as soon as he cuts and makes that extra man miss, he's going to pick up another 5 yards. That is something you just simply cannot teach. That is just great athleticism, being able to stop on a dime and then get it going as soon as you make your cut. With that burst of speed, that is what has made Andrew Pierce into a big-time weapon in the Tri-County Conference.
1st down and goal. The Blue Squad driving. Little Drops his mouthpiece and resets. Fumbles the snap. Keeps. Now will look to cut inside. Still on his feet. No signal yet.
He did a little bit of everything on that play.
And they're saying it's a fumble. Touchdown. Well, a little bit of the dramatic there as we awaited the call on the field by the officials. And the Blue Squad now within striking distance. They trail 17-12. And it looks like they may go for two.
No pun intended, but a little bit of everything going on in that play. You drop your mouthpiece first. The snap comes back at you a little bit too quick, and he has the presence of mind to be able to grab it. It didn't look like he was going to be able to get into the end zone, but used that big frame and really just willed himself over the goal line. Now a chance to cut it to 3. Looks like the Blues they're going to call a timeout.
With that timeout, we'll step away. 3:57 remaining in this third quarter. It is the White on top of the Blues, 17-12. Welcome back. 2-point conversion. 17-12, the White on top of the Blue. Little out of the shotgun. They'll try to make it a 3-point game. Little gets the snap and a little razzle-dazzle, and cut down in the backfield for the Blue Squad is Levander Jones. A little surprised there. I've been very impressed with the arm and accuracy of Little. Instead, they go to that slow developing play that, is very difficult to execute given the fact that they've had such little practice time.
Yeah, they're trying something there, and didn't work for him. Adrian Bell of Woodbury comes up and makes the stop. The first time we talked about Bell, offensive and defensive lineman, wants to go into sports medicine. 14 tackles against Overbrook this year. Getting an opportunity to put his name in the scoring book. Nice tackle.
Big stop. Of course, it still is a one-possession game. 17-12. 5-point edge. If the Blue can hold the White here, they can march right down the field and take the lead for the first time this evening. The White squad jumped out to a 10-0 lead to start things, and it's been a battle ever since.
Yeah, real important stop that time by Bell, and the White squad keeps the lead at 5.
Remember, it's 17-12, just to interject here. But they opted not to go for a field goal earlier.
Right, so which means it might take that 3 points out of play anyway if you don't have the belief that you can get one through the uprights anyway. So it might not matter much in the decision making for the Blue coaches, because they might say, listen, we're going touchdown or bust anyway.
Tunstall takes it inside the 10-yard line. On his feet, Tunstall cutting against the grain. Knocked down at about the 40-yard line, and there is a player shaken up on the Blue squad. If I'm not mistaken, it is Shawil Green. And, of course, that's the one thing you never want to see, but particularly in an all-star game.
Ran the 110 hurdles and won the Group 1 title, did Shawil Green. His teammates. These guys are going to take a knee. But, you look through these forms, Rob, and one of the things that I'm noticing a lot of as I read, what I do is I send out these forms and try to get to know these young men as much as possible before we go on to talk about them. And I always put on there, what is the toughest thing that you've had to overcome, as Green is going to come and be helped to his feet. walking a little gingerly. What's kind of sad is I noticed that a lot of them say either their dad has become sick or they lost their father at an earlier age, or I grew up without my parents, in the case of this young man. And just testament to those around them and the school system, because you know that there was some other father figures that came into their lives to put them in the position, because, again, I've seen a lot of not just athletes, but student athletes, and they've really been able to get. If you're in this game, chances are you took studying the game of football, took school seriously, and representing your school here is a big deal.
Colucci throws it up, has a man, and some tight defense played as Colucci trying to hook up with Matt Roldan out of Audubon. Excuse me, that was TJ Pratt from Kingsway.
Yo! Run! Probably run now!
So lights are on. Air's a little thick. Surprised you haven't seen as much cramping issues, Rob, in this game. It's been hot. If you're not drinking your fluids, which I'm sure the coaching staffs and trainers making sure that you're drinking a lot of fluids, you're practicing out in the heat. And typically we see that in the beginning of the year, especially with those smaller schools where you have guys playing both ways, don't get a chance to rest. And we've done plenty of games where you have the Group 1 schools meeting each other and it's real hot in September. Everyone's cramping up, but we haven't seen that much here.
Third down, about 7. 3 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Colucci looks for space. He'll tuck it under, and he'll be hit and knocked down. Well shy of the first down. He'll pick up a yard or two. And the white team will be forced to punt it away, and the blue team with an opportunity to take the lead for the first time this evening.
Leveled by Jareed Gaines out of RV. First 3 fumbles against Penn Saucon in the game this year. Nice kick. Look at this.
That's a boomer, and that's going to find its way out at the 11-yard line. So Locke has played a prominent role in things tonight. He's been impressive both as a kicker and a punter. And the blue team will have a long field.
Going to Gloucester County College, wants to become a state trooper in Locke. Going in contention. The way he's punted the ball and the way he's kicking, you have to think he's got an opportunity for a player of the game.
It's not too late for a college to say to him, you know what, we need somebody. Even if it's a Division III school, and try to entice him to continue his collegiate career. He has been impressive here this evening. First down and 10 for the blue. High snap taken, and the handoff to Pierce. Pierce will string it out, and he'll be cut down after a pickup of about 8.
The white squad has to ratchet up the defense a little bit, and it's they've kind of been sagging back. Nothing exciting for this unit. They've made some plays. They've stopped the blue when they've needed, but nothing exciting has really come out of the blue squad, especially in the second half, other than the pickup by Roundtree and scampering into the end zone. But Locke basically changing the field position has been their best weapon so far in this half.
Second down, and again it's Pierce, and he'll have enough for the first down. That's a big first down for the blue. Remember, they were backed up to their own 11-yard line, so now they have some breathing room for Little and this offense. Time continues to move as we approach a minute 20 remaining in this third quarter. It's been another Excellent. Adam Taliaferro, All-Star Football Classic.
Got big Luke Gambali, number 55 of Absegami, playing that right tackle position.
Little shovel pass inside to Pierce, and he's smothered after a pickup of about 3.
They're trying to run that time behind Marcus Clements out of Willingboro. Trying to pull on that play, and White doing a nice job sniffing that one out. Clements, as I just mentioned, real good size up in that 270, 280 area.
Second down for the Blue, about 7 or 8. 22 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Little back to pass. And in and out of the hands of Warren Oliver. A perfect throw, and Oliver didn't handle it. I've been very impressed with Little tonight.
Yes.
I think he has been the class of the quarterbacks thus far.
He's made some real nice passes, even some of them that did not, the receivers didn't come down with it, but his arm has been impressive. I mentioned Clements, his brother, people may have heard before, Sean Phillips, plays with San Diego Chargers.
That's good bloodlines.
Yeah.
Third down, out of the shotgun, Little with 14 seconds. Inside screen, cutting it back inside, and now finally stood up on the play is Levander Jones as Evan Lick lays a lick.
Yeah, Lick's going to Moravian College, play football on track. Wants to go for landscape architect.
That'll do it for 3 quarters of play. It's been a good one. It is the White Squad on top of the Blues, 17-12 in the 19th annual Adam Taliaferro All-Star Football Classic. Welcome back. We start the fourth quarter, and the Blue Squad will punt it away. Taken on one hop by Tunstall at his 28-yard line. Tunstall still on his feet down the sideline. Tunstall brought down at about the 47-yard line. First down and 10, and the White Squad with good field position. And, Sean, quite a few people have contributed tonight to make this football classic just that.
Yeah, TNT Equipment Sales and Rentals Incorporated, Tom and Mary Icavone, the Athletic Trainers Society of New Jersey, Kennedy Health System, Tom White Roofing and Siding, Sports Paradise, Coldwell Banker Elite Realtors, AAA of South Jersey, Avalon Art Guild Exhibits, Coastal Spine, Cooper Bone and Joint Institute, Cargo Solutions, Gloucester Catholic 1971 Rams, the Philadelphia Eagles, Joel and Faith Vittori, Fort Nassau Graphics, Edward Jones, Rita's Water Ice, the New Jersey National Guard, the IATSE Local 8, Seco Worldwide, Dean and Sharon Ragone, Coastline Restaurant, the Philadelphia Inquirer, the Carrier Post, and South Jersey newspapers. Also, VIP Productions, bringing the video tonight from this game. A couple other locals have also helped out. Not sure of all of them, so I don't want to mention one and not the others. But there's some other local companies that have also helped out with some of the food here. Everyone donating, putting together what I really think is probably the premier athletic event in South Jersey each year. Be fair to say that.
Certainly a tremendous cause. We saw that earlier in the day when some of the young men who suffered spinal injuries who will benefit from all of the benevolence of Adam Taliaferro.
Mm-hmm.
And the shovel pass falls incomplete. A lot going on in that play. And
yeah, that blew up
the
early.
Blue Squad very fortunate, or excuse me, the White Squad fortunate that the Blue Squad did not pick that off. Second down and 10 out of the I formation. Colucci still your quarterback. And Colucci
That was
and Wright had a miscommunication. It looked like it was going to be a draw play, and either Wright or Colucci were on a incorrect page. They one zigged, the other zagged. You know, fill in your own cliche there, Sean.
I got mine. I'm not going to share it, but I got mine. Yeah, and it seems like to me the white squad is kind of lost a little bit. Like, I mean, they just don't seem like they're feeling it right now. In this blue squad, you have Phillips on the opposite side. You have Pierce on the opposite side. Little's done a nice job. There should be a sense of urgency. I know it's 14 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. You hold the lead, but offensively and pretty much throughout this half, except for the fumble recovery, the white squad has been very quiet. Nice
Here's
cut.
Tunstall, cuts it inside. He'll have enough for the first down. Tries to pull up and slips. It was only Tunstall that could bring down Tunstall. Enough for the first down, and the white squad rolling.
I mean, again, you want to put the ball in your dominant player's hands and your biggest weapon. And Ricky Tunstall has been one of those players for the white squad. Little cut goes upfield. Just turns on the Jets going again to the University of Delaware. Also, people might not know that he played a little bit of baseball, a little basketball, a little track in his 4 years at Glassboro.
1st and 10, the pitch. Stringing it outside, now cutting back in. Nice little run once again by Kashmir Okoro.
And still, you know, nice crowd on hand, Robin. It seems like they're waiting for something to happen here in this second half. The blue squad with an opportunity, but they kind of got to dig in here with a 2nd and short. A couple of nice plays back-to-back goes for the white squad, and Colucci like to add a little bit, pad that lead.
Colucci keeps. He'll have enough for the first down. Colucci finding seam after seam. Busted outside. Colucci on his feet inside the 10-yard line. And what a dandy little run by Rocco Colucci.
Well, he had I mentioned those 3 rushing touchdowns against Brick, and that's why he's not the quickest guy, not the fastest guy, but he freezes the defender and then bursts to the outside. And Colucci engineering a drive here that would really put a damper in the spirits of the blue squad if they're not able to make a couple of plays. One of the things about Colucci is, playing that quarterback position, you need poise. And this is a kid that just doesn't get nervous. He's got that, terrific ability to be able to run with the football, but also he just keeps everything in perspective and keeps really calm. You want that in your leader.
First down and goal. Not much doing. We're inside of 12 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. The white squad trying to extend their lead. They have never trailed in this one.
Jasir Bronson of Camden Catholic.
And what's kind of funny with Colucci, he's one of those guys that just doesn't show a lot of emotion. And some people may interpret that he doesn't care. But that's just the way he is. He just doesn't. He's not going to wear his emotions on his sleeve, as some may say. He just takes everything in stride. Is very patient. Assesses the situation. That's a great personality to have. It's just some people take it.
Colavito in for the touchdown. Well, I've been waiting to see Colavito. He has been so effective the few times he has touched the football, and it was only a matter of time until he found the end zone. The white squad extends their lead to 11, awaiting the extra point.
Colavita is a kid you know that he is going to be successful in life because of what type of kid he is. but he's been very successful for the Washington Township Minutemen. Baseball, won a state championship in Group 4, part of that team. In track, competed. Football, obviously. Just a terrific athlete. Against Lenape, he had 8 rushes in that game, Rob. 5 touchdowns, 212 yards in that game. His kid's in the top 5% of his class of 650. I asked him what's the most difficult thing you've had to overcome in your life. He said height disadvantage. It's not easy being low to the ground. But the one thing with, kidding aside, I mean, his low center of gravity and the way he's still able to cut, it just makes that much more difficult to bring down. It just so strong with his lower body, and then you add that to what he can do athletically, and he's been just a remarkable athlete at Washington Township. And I know Mark Wechter really believes that this kid was one of the tremendous leaders that's ever stepped in the school at Washington Township, and what he's accomplished over his athletic career.
Locke will kick it away for the White. 10:44 remaining, and the White squad on top, 23-12. Part of his repertoire when he's at the University of Pennsylvania. Now the return. Pierce down the far sideline. Pierce cuts it inside and brought down at the 43. We talked before the electrifying speed and vision of Andrew Pierce sets up the Blue squad here in the fourth quarter.
You could almost sense that was going to happen. If you kicked it to Pierce, that he was going to be able to reel off a big return. Sometimes after a touchdown, you're up by 11 points again. It's easy to take a little nap during the kickoff. And, Pierce is the one guy that really can burn you. And that's a good return now. I mean, a little behind center.
It's actually White. And
White's
White
in there now.
Fumbles the football, and White cut down from behind.
Of course, you got to get him the ball. And that's, again, that's something that, you're just not used to it. You haven't done it in a while. You're not used to the quarterback. And that usually snapping is a very difficult thing to get down in that week's time.
Well, this Blue offense really thrived under Little, and they're going to have to find a new rhythm with White. 2nd down and 12. White again steps up in the pocket, throws it, and it is defended well. And that'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, sometimes guys will turn around. You saw Oliver do it that time, and it makes them stop running. And that little hesitation, not stop running, but there's a little hesitation there. And then usually the ball's overthrown. That's what happened in that case. It wasn't a bad ball by White.
Ricky Tunstall with fine coverage on the play as well. 3rd down for White in the blue. Doesn't sound right, does it? White, the quarterback. Steps into the pocket, eludes a couple tacklers, and now he is hit. And his pass falls incomplete, looking for Phillips.
Yeah, just couldn't step into that one. Was White under heavy pressure and not able to do anything there with it. Going to Delaware Valley is White. Now Blue's going to punt it away. Got to watch for a fake here, Rob. 9:38 left in the fourth quarter, the middle of the field. White's grandfather played at Oakcrest High School and then played at Navy.
White throws it up, tipped, and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Andrew Pierce. Ball turned over on downs, and now it is the White squad.
Not a bad decision by the blue squad to try and go for the fake, and it looked like he almost had the opportunity to come down with it even a couple times. Give yourself a chance. Now you know you got to rely on the defense to make a play or two.
First and 10. And your quarterback, Glenn Hutton, out of Paul VI. He'll hand it off right up the gut. And a pickup of about 3.
Handoff goes to Haddon Township's Joe Teagan.
You know, you mentioned before, not sure whether this is a beginning or an end, Sean. Of course, Sean, you cover sports at length for the Gloucester County Times, sports editor over there. So who better to ask than yourself about some of the highlights of this past scholastic year in sports? What stands out, not necessarily exclusively football-wise?
I think one of the highlights of the year, I mean, there were so many different ones. One that immediately comes to mind, and, you know, I'm based out of Gloucester County, so it's difficult for me to think outside the county sometimes, but Woodbury basketball winning a Group 1 South Jersey title for the first time in 70-some years. Really stands out with Kenny Avent taking over as the boys' coach for the first time. He was the coach for the girls. And to see those guys celebrate and how much it meant to the city of Woodbury. I mean, that Woodbury used to be, let's say, the capital for Gloucester County. You know, it used to be the hub, and some still say it is.
It is the county seat, right?
Yeah, and that, I mean, exactly. But, you know, you have some people may know Glassboro a little bit more because of Rowan. Washington Township because it's got the biggest high school. Deptford because of the mall. But Woodbury, also one of the oldest schools as well. And the history there, especially with athletes, and you think basketball would possibly be a strength at Woodbury. And I was shocked when I found out they hadn't won in 70-some years. And to finally win a title and to see those kids celebrate along with Kenny Avent, one of the real good young minds as far as basketball goes in South Jersey. I think a lot of people are going to hear his name for a few years.
That was a big win, not only because of the history involved, but of course they knocked off the defending champ, Salem Rams, and that was a Salem team that for many at the beginning of the year just felt it was a foregone conclusion that they were going to win Group 1.
Mm-hmm. Something recently as well was Mike Trout getting drafted in the middle rounds for the baseball draft. First round. I'm sorry, the middle of the first round. Excuse me, and thanks, Rob, for correcting me there, because that's a big deal. I mean, you get a kid in high school to get drafted that high. I thought that was certainly a big deal for Millville, big deal for South Jersey.
Well, the good news for Trout is once he signs, he'll be making the same amount as yourself over as the sports editor of the Gloucester County Times. So he won't have to come hit you up for a loan anymore. Of course, I will continue to do so.
Anybody who has worked in
I'm sure your response will still remain the same, but I'm going to keep trying.
Well, you know, I got a couple nickels that I can rub together and it'll make a dime, but that's...
Wow, that's quite a talent you have.
That's about all I have. Well, you know, those skills are seldom seen anymore.
Mm-hmm. Was that your minor in college?
Yeah.
Third down for Hutton and the White squad. 6:10 remaining. Hutton rolls out. He's in trouble, and he's going to be sacked.
That's
all the way back to the 46-yard line.
Big play for the Blue Squad now. They're going to call timeout here. They blow that play dead. Yep, they're going to call timeout here, save a little bit of time. They're down by 2 scores.
Moves the ball back to the 46-yard line.
Trout, as you mentioned, drafted by the California Angels. It's kind of a weird season for that Millville baseball team. They were undefeated for a long stretch and then kind of went into a funk. They lost in the Diamond Classic and were quickly ousted from the state playoffs. And before they knew it, their dream season had ended. And that's just how sports is sometimes. Just when you think everything is in your back pocket, it just seems to slip away.
You know, and you think back, I mean, Trout's a big name, but I mentioned him earlier, Chris LaPierre. Just what a talent he is.
Could have
coming out
played
of Shawnee.
Division I football. Instead, we'll be playing Division I lacrosse.
Yeah, those are special athletes that, you know, seldom come by. You don't really see those type of those guys. They don't grow on trees.
The kick from Locke will bounce inside the
How about
10-yard line, and Locke has done quite a job. He has been the unsung hero for this white team.
I know, you know, football players sometimes they don't feel that the kicker and punter in the kicking game is just as important piece of a football team. But, you know, no mistaking what Locke has done tonight. I mean, he has been a weapon for this white team and pushed blue back a number of occasions.
Here's White. Throws it up. And trying to find Phillips. Second down.
And he had him, too. And Phillips just couldn't catch up to that one, but still a nice opportunity for White just to release, let him go, see if he can get underneath of it. If he would have caught up to that one, it might have been 6. And you think back again to Glassboro remaining undefeated. That certainly comes to mind as a highlight this year of, again,
White. And he
just had to get rid of it, yeah.
Dumps the ball. That'll fall incomplete, third down.
Friday Odie, probably the best name of the night. Friday Odie out of Cherry Hill West. In on that play. Play a little offensive and defensive, offensive guard, defensive end for Cherry Hill West. Would like to go into business.
Friday's always a great name. Got Sergeant Joe Friday. My man Friday.
With the ball at the blue 10-yard line.
Again, you ask him what's the most interesting thing about Yo. He says his name. I mean, at least he knows it.
And White slings it, and that will fall incomplete.
Tom White's pass is incomplete.
And it is. I mean, you introduce yourself. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? I'm Sean. I'm Friday Odie. Come again? You know, it's Sean. How boring is that? I don't want to say my parents did a bad job on picking my name because, you know, that's what they chose.
Sean Leary is not your typical Irish name. So it was a bit of a stretch.
No, especially they threw Patrick in the middle. That really confused people.
5:35 remaining, 23-12 the White, and some fireworks being set off.
Mm-hmm.
It's been the White team who has set off most of the fireworks tonight. And the Blue Squad still trying as they will go for it deep in their own end on fourth down. White trying to buy time. He does. throws it, and he is hit, and it is ruled incomplete.
And if he was able to unleash that ball, it was Tunstall in coverage. I believe it was Pierce who may have had a step. Now, Tunstall can make up that step in a hurry, but that would have been an interesting opportunity for the Blue. And now some people are going to start heading home here on Thursday night. This game being taped. 5:26 left here in the fourth quarter. It's been a good game, entertaining game. A couple of big plays. Some kids making a name for himself. And there's guys like Locke, who would like to be a state trooper playing in his final game. And you have to feel good that he made an impact as much as he had in tonight's game. Plus, I want to say nice things about him because he's going to be a state trooper.
And we've seen the way you drive. Second down.
Brandon White carries the ball for the White. Three Danes.
And a timeout called by the Blue team.
Making the tackle for the Blue.
Try and see if they can, try to go for the strip now and see if you could jar the ball loose.
Blue has called timeout, stopping the clock at 5:07. That's their final timeout.
5:07 remaining for the Blue. We're here at Rowan University. Rob Christ along with Sean Leary. 19th annual Adam Taliaferro All-Star Football Classic.
Some people, guys like Joe Devine and Tom Icavone who put this game on. Guys like John Cutt-Savage comes out of Pittman that helps. They do an excellent job with this event. Sometimes I'll just say that excellent, great. So you use that all the time, right? But I really mean it this time.
That's quite a quote right there. So what you're saying is all these years we've worked together and you tell me that I do an excellent job or that I look great. I shouldn't necessarily take that to heart. Is that what you're telling me?
I'll just let you guess.
I feel totally defeated right now. I just feel crushed.
Well, see the way I looked when I said that? You want to look for that look. If it's not that look, there's a chance I'm just trying to make you feel good.
Interesting.
See, that was one of my goals. Each year I come in to doing this job with a goal. Like every just an athlete. Look at this effort by Brandon Wright.
And Brandon Wright is in for the touchdown. Second, third, fourth effort for Wright. And Wright makes the White team extend their lead to 29-12.
It's just a great thing to see Brandon get into the end zone. I've had an opportunity to talk with that young man a couple of times, and he is just a delightful kid, loves the sport so much. And for him to get a touchdown in this game I know it means just as much to him than any of these kids out here. I don't want to say it means more to him, but I guarantee it's just as much. And I mean that one too. Did you see my face?
I saw the look.
You saw the look.
Yes. Saw the whites of your eyes. Usually you have your eyes closed
because I don't want to. When everybody look at me. But usually when you go into just like one of the kids, you have your goals. And my goal was to not use those words so much because when you overuse outstanding and excellent and superb, well, I think I forgot it in this game because I've used excellent, outstanding, and all that way too much tonight.
But that still could be appropriate given the fact that we're playing an all-star game here.
True. I feel much better with myself now.
You had your eyes closed.
Did I? Now everybody who talks to me is going to be looking to see his
They can't wait to play poker with you.
Point's good.
Another penalty, 30-12. The white on top of the blue. As now only the final score is to be determined, as we have 4:02 remaining in this fourth quarter. Adam Taliaferro, with his name on this football game, made an appearance earlier with his father Andre Taliaferro. And again, it's an opportunity for this foundation to provide educational resources for high school, college, and professional athletic training programs, and to recognize spinal injuries at the time of their occurrence and begin proper medical treatment within that brief window of time. This year, Sean, one of my former baseball players at Eastern High School, Scott Crossan, was involved in a horrific accident, and he went over to McGee Rehabilitation. We did a fundraiser in school, the baseball team did, and there was a number of other fundraisers that raised money for Scott Crossan, and the Adam Taliaferro Foundation was involved. Ironically, when I went over to see him at McGee, his mother told me that he was in the same exact room that they put Adam Taliaferro, ironically. Really? And the great news is that he is now out of McGee and he is not walking, but there's still hope. There is great hope. Scott Crossan is an extraordinary fighter, and that coupled with the rehabilitation he received from McGee and the support of the Taliaferro Foundation, there is a tremendous amount of hope for him, and he's just one of the many stories of this foundation that created.
Yeah, the advancement in modern medicine and being able to deal with, especially at the the point of where the either an accident or somebody on the field or something happens where they can get to it, and they really have advanced in what they now know about spinal injuries, which is, we talk about cancer and there's been improvements in cancer, but obviously no cure. However, more people with early detection are able to beat cancer. There's been a tremendous amount of an increase in spinal cord injuries and how they've been able to treat it. You look at some of the the big stories, and Adam Taliaferro was at the time and still is a big story in how he was able to walk. It wasn't just something locally here in South Jersey. This was a big national story at the time, and a lot of people, I'm sure, remember, if not just in our area, but throughout the country, that happening.
Slant pattern, caught, and Jones on his feet, and he'll be pushed out of bounds. Of course, the story of Adam Taliaferro is well chronicled by Sam Carchidi and Scott Brown in their book, A Miracle in the Making. That's part of the curriculum at Eastern High School. And had an opportunity to talk to Sam a couple weeks ago, ran into him down in Ocean City, and they are still trying to make a film out of that book, and that would certainly be a great to see on celluloid.
Well, you and I both know Sam pretty well, and you talk about talent with Adam. I mean, with Sam also being involved with that project, that is a must-read still.
White getting pressure, and he'll be forced to tuck it under, and the White defense continues to swarm as we are now down to 2:50 remaining.
Blue just could, it seemed like they had the chance, but they get close and White will pull away or have a big play. They'll go home a little disappointed, but still with the opportunity to play one more time and represent their school with the jersey or the helmet on.
Here's the screen set up nicely.
Yeah,
a lot
real
of
nice.
room for Bruce. Bruce inside the 30, cuts it. Look at the footwork of Bruce inside to the 18-yard line.
And that's what separates good backs from great backs is being able to use the blockers to get the extra yards. Not so much trying to just do it on your own and let me see if I can outrun somebody, but let me use the blocks, set them up, use somebody's body against them to pick up the extra yards in a nice gain. It's down by 18 at this point, but certainly getting into the end zone, make these guys feel a little bit better about themselves as this game is coming close to an end.
First down and 10 at the 19 for White and the Blue squad. White throws it up to the corner, has his man, touchdown.
What a great pass by White. That was an outstanding pitch and catch from White to Warren Oliver.
Well, the Blue has not given up yet.
Oliver was a two-time All-Division first-teamer, 3-year captain at Palmyra. All Group 1 javelin, two-time track athlete as well. What's interesting about this kid is he never played football until this season. And he came out for Palmyra and a terrific athlete. And he certainly was very impressive. And if this kid had thought about playing football at an earlier age, how much damage could he have done for Palmyra, and where would he be at this point?
Oh, White hooks up with Powell, but that falls short, and the score holds. It is 30-18 with 1:50 left.
And I want to thank also all the assistant coaches and both general managers for the White squad. It's Frank Delano out of Haddonfield. It's Frank Holmes for Holy Cross. Pete Getz is the head coach for this White squad. Did a nice job. Paul Callahan out of Buena. We've already tagged them earlier in the game, but it's not easy to really put this all together in a week. You have kids who really don't know. They know the fundamentals of football and they know some of the terminology, but trying to get that all down in 1 week. And these coaches volunteering their time. And not only them, but their families. They don't see dad for the week. There's you always hear the parents say, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about with football, and we get that a lot with the newspaper. But sometimes it's easier to stop and think, wow, look at all the volunteer work these guys do. Or they're getting really, especially football coaches. You break it down, they're getting paid like $2-3 an hour. That gets lost sometimes.
Well, the Blue team will kick it away with 1:50 left. And the onside kick is very long, and it's going to be chased down by Wright of the White.
Wright just lucky to pick that one up there, come over and didn't get a bad hop. Could have caused him some problems. Minute 41 on the campus of Rowan University. Rowan expects to be very good next year. I talked with some of the players that have come in and transferred, and Rowan's going to be good. I think Rowan's going to be real good.
That's not much of a deviation from their tradition. Rowan
No.
Last year, a little bit of a down season.
Yeah, over the last couple of years, they really haven't. Rowan. We expect Rowan to be playing in Virginia.
Yeah.
In December, and Hasn't happened over the last couple of seasons, but they have a lot of South Jersey, a lot of local guys who are playing at the school, and some of the better players who have come home. And it should be an exciting couple of seasons now.
Calavita on the carry. 1:15 remaining. 5-yard gain for Calavita, the Washington Township product. The white team would love to get one more first down and milk this clock, as we are now inside of 55 seconds. Colucci will hand it off and cut down in the backfield. This is Kashmir Akuro.
Delcy, they just keep on cranking out those terrific running backs year after year under Coach Sal Marquez.
This will likely be the last play if they can get the snap off. I'm not sure where they are time-wise, but we are down to 15 seconds remaining. See if they take a knee here. And Colucci does take a knee, and that'll do it. The white squad victorious over the blue, 30-18. Another fine effort by these high school all-stars. And again, Sean, as we mentioned before, the winner, of course, is all of South Jersey and the Philadelphia region, as the Adam Taliaferro Foundation continues to give back.
Yeah, just an outstanding event, a great game. And, I mean, look, some of the guys that stood out, I mean, the Phillips for the blue squad was fantastic. And there was a number of guys who contributed plays, but again, I mean, we mentioned them a couple of times. Locke was really impressive. It looks like, the blue squad really didn't have that in the arsenal, somebody that can really be a weapon at that position, either kicker or punter. And certainly the advantage went to the white there. But there was some pretty good efforts. Again, Brandon Wright coming out for the white squad and having a real nice game. There was a few guys that made some nice plays for this white team, but the important part of this game is, and again, this group, this collection of athletes, really great student athletes, great representatives of each school. And you talk to all of them, they were honored to put the helmet on one more time. It wasn't all just about them. They all realized that, and that's kind of refreshing to see some of these groups of kids and understanding what this is all about. So another fun game here at Rowan University as the 2008-2009 scholastic season officially comes to an end with the closing of the Adam Taliaferro. And Rob, I just wanted to let you know you had an excellent game.
Eyes were closed. Final score here from Rowan University. It was the white squad defeating the blue 30-18 for my partner, Sean Leary, his better-looking brother, Darren Leary, the producer of the program, and all of the crew. I'm Rob Christ. Thanks for joining us. Good night, everybody.